Welcome back. Eskom will release its very delayed financial results tomorrow. This comes after the power utility was put under pressure to meet the listing requirements of the JSE or face its debt, its bonds that are traded from being suspended.
The cash-strapped power utility has been through weeks of drama that saw government intervene, appointing a new board and acting CEO, and investigations into allegations of corruption. On Friday, ratings agency Moody's downgraded the power utility's credit rating. The agency says that it's concerned with Eskom's deteriorating liquidity and the ability of government to provide direct equity support to the power utility.
Earlier, our reporter Glorious Sefako-Musi spoke to Eskom spokesperson Khulu Phasiwe regarding the impact of the downgrade on Eskom's already strained finances. Let's listen to that.
The concerns that were raised by the rating agencies last year still remain. These are primarily issues around irregular expenditure, issues around Eskom's liquidity, and also the lapses in corporate governance. So it comes as no surprise that Moody's reacted the way they did on Friday, but we can say to the market at the moment that we now have a new board and we also have an interim CEO. In due course, the market, both locally and international, will begin to see some changes so that we can address those particular issues that were raised.
Sometime last week you said that the new board, Eskom, is going to the local banks to ask for a loan facility to be open that was closed last year. How is this then going to impact on that application?
Already last week they have been, including the beginning of this week, there will continue to be discussions with the local lenders and funders generally here. And already we are beginning to get good indications from the market that we are on the right path. But obviously we don't have the money yet that is coming through from them. But they are happy with the kind of actions that the new board is taking now in terms of firstly dealing with the people who are implicated in corruption activities, and also going forward the issues related to stabilizing this company. So the board, among other things, is now tasked with funding the permanent CEO and the permanent CFO. All of this will happen within the next 3 months.
You've announced that you're releasing the results tomorrow after a delay, and the reports that the delay was because auditors could not balance the books. Is everything good and ready?
We are ready now. We are going to release the results tomorrow in compliance with the JSE regulations. And importantly, this is what we as a company had committed ourselves to do anyway. So, but yes, we now have gotten the necessary, I'll say, comfort levels with all the relevant parties, including the auditors. And tomorrow we will be releasing the results. But the details will come out tomorrow once the CEO and the CFO release the results tomorrow at 11.
Okay. With all that is happening at Eskom at the moment, the overhaul of the company, how is this impacting on the morale of staff?
Well, the staff morale over the last few months has been low because of the things that were going on within this company. But with the new board and the new interim CEO, things are gradually beginning to change. Right now, as I speak to you, actually, there's a group of senior managers here at Megawatt Park who are meeting with the new interim CEO and the chairman, basically introducing themselves to the new CEO. This is a group of managers, by the way, who last week on Friday or a week before had written a letter to the deputy president asking for the presidency to do something. So it's effectively now they are now beginning to see the results of their request to the presidency, and all of them are now committing to the CEO and to themselves that they need to do the right things going forward, and especially exposing officials within Eskom's midst who may be doing the wrong things for private gain.
And with NERSA having given Eskom 5.23% of the tariff increase that you had asked for 19% increase. What's the next step that you're going to take from this?
Well, very soon, hopefully NERSA will release its record of decision so that we can read it and understand as to how they came to that conclusion. But from our side, we are, I would say, very concerned that for 2 years running, we got tariff increases that are below inflation. You'll remember that in 2017 we got 2.2%, and in the current financial year, obviously we're talking about 5.2%. But in actual fact, Eskom is only getting about 1.3% because the other 4% is actually going towards the purchase of electricity from the independent power producers. So, but once we have started those decisions of the regulator, we will know as to what the next step will be.
And with reports that the World Bank may recall its loan, is Eskom concerned about this?
Well, the World Bank and other lending facilities across the globe have been given assurance by Eskom that we are doing everything possible to deal with the concerns that they have raised. At this stage, as I speak to you, we have not received any letter from any organization indicating that they would like to recall their loans, because all the market has been saying is that we want to see some assurance that you are doing something to address the concerns that are bedeviling Eskom, primarily around the lapses in corporate governance. Now that we have a new board and we are beginning to clamp down on some of our colleagues who have been implicated in wrongdoing, it's sending strong and a good message to the public out there and the lenders that we are beginning to do something about it, and in due course I'm sure we'll begin to see a change of tone in the things that they have been saying previously.
Just lastly, over the weekend there were reports that already about 5 executives have left Eskom since government's intervention, and we also hearing that Mr. Marais has to explain as to why he should not be permanently suspended from Eskom, and that Machela Koko is actually challenging his removal from Eskom by government. Can you just take us through as to how many executives have left so far and what is happening in that space?
Well, so far we have about 5 executives and senior managers who have left Eskom. We have Mr. Anuj Singh, our former CFO, who has resigned, and we also have Mr. Prish Kavanda, who has resigned. And then last week we also saw Mr. Charles Kalema resigning, and then we had Mr. Edwin Mabelani and Mr. Diraj Bima, who unfortunately were fired because they did not respond in time in terms of the, I would say, the request that was placed before them to either resign voluntarily or be fired. So they didn't come back according to the timelines that were given, and then they were accordingly fired. Mr. Koko Smeta is now at the Labour Court. I'm sure on the 6th of February we will hear as to ultimately what the verdict will be. But generally what is happening within this organization is that the new board and management would like to deal, I would say, expressly with people who are implicated in wrongdoing. Once we do that, it will actually help us when we go out to the market, because the market is saying we do have the money and we do have a good relationship with you as a company, as Eskom, but you need to deal with your house. Just clean your house and then we can start talking. And that's what the board is now doing.
That was Glorious Sefako speaking earlier to Khulu Phasiwe, the spokesperson for Eskom.